Hi everyone, it's Connie with another update. Today is Monday, April 28th. It is the night before my chemo since my surgery on the 18th of March. And as you could see, I've grown a lot of hair, and there's gray hair coming out as well too. So I'm not sure how it's going to look, but it's coming in nicely. And unfortunately, I'm afraid that when I start my chemo again, I'm going to lose my hair. So it's been about 2 months since I've had chemo, and unfortunately the surgery went well. However, my recovery hasn't been that smooth and it's had a lot of challenges, and so it's been a challenge, and I've had some moments, and I'm doing better, but the last two, I think since my last update, things were just very hard. I wanted to show you a picture of the day that I was getting surgery, and I don't know if you can see it. So do you see how happy I am? Have you ever seen someone so happy that they were getting surgery? And I really was, was so happy and so excited that baby Owie was going to come out, and I was ready to have surgery that day. And my fear wasn't so much for the surgery. It was really after, my recovery. I didn't know if I needed, how much help I'm going to need, because it was still something I was struggling with, having people taking care of me and me needing to be taken care of. Anyway, as I shared on my last video, surgery went great, and just to find out that there's no cancer, that was an incredible and a miracle in itself. Well, I was doing well. In the last 2 weeks, though, things just didn't go so good. I think I did mention I was in the ER and things like that, so I was on bed rest for like maybe 2 weeks, and then my incision site decided that it was going to open, and there was a little opening, so I had called the surgeon's office, and the nurse said, no, it's okay. I sent her a photo, and she said, as long as I don't have a fever, I should be good. I'm like, okay. And then unfortunately, and again, I wasn't moving around too much. I'm wearing my abdominal binder to hold things in place. However, my wounds just my incisions kept opening up and bigger. So I was putting my doctor friend came in and put some series strips on it too, but it just opened even more. So, and when I saw the surgeon, he's like, no, it's okay. And at first he said, you should go to wound care. And I'm like, wound care? Like, I don't want to add another thing to my journey. And he said, well, then, I'll take care of it in the office. And I said, okay. And then again, when I left his office like that week, again, more opened up, and I was just frustrated. And this past Thursday, I changed my dressing. The doctor is asking, telling me to put some bacitracin on it and put dressing, daily. And so on Thursday, I was changing my dressing, and there was just blood, bright red blood. And it was coming out so much, and it was like on the floor, on the dressing, and I just had to put pressure on it and to stop the bleeding. And I was freaking out, and because I've been on blood thinners. And so I called the office too, and they're like, oh, the nurse is not available. She'll call you back. Well, it's like after 3 hours, no one calls me back. I'm still freaking out. And so finally someone calls to remind me of an appointment. I said, waiting for a nurse to call. Like, she hasn't called me. I'm on blood thinners. And as soon as I say that, of course, she gets the nurse on the phone. And the nurse again says, send me a picture. And I did. And I don't even want to look at it because it's not very attractive. I'm so very disappointed. And, I don't know, he didn't tell me a reason why it opened. He said certain people, their skins just do. And it's like there's this indentation, there's this groove, and it was very hard to look at. And she wanted me to take a picture of it. And anyway, and so I took a picture. She's like, oh, I think you might have to go to wound care. I'm like, what? Anyway, so when I saw the surgeon, he said, it's okay, it is healing. And, I told him about my, what had happened. And he's like, don't freak out. It's okay. And I said, well, it's easy for you to say, and he did say, he doesn't mean to make it sound so easy, but it's not. So I was just so frustrated. But so I decided that, okay, it can't get any worse. I'm not going to have this beautiful scar, but I'm going to have this indentation. And so someday maybe I'll have enough money for plastic surgery. But anyway, so I decided, okay, enough. If it's not going to get any worse, and I pray that it doesn't, so I decided that I'm going to start moving around. I've been walking over the weekend, doing lots of walks during the day, in the morning and at night, and just really getting myself more active, because I'm tired of just looking at the ceiling. I'm tired of lying in bed, and because it still really hurts to sit up. I did drive for a little bit for Saturday, but I have to have the driver's seat lean back because I can't sit upright. So but it was okay, and I'm doing that a little more and more. So sitting is not the most comfortable positions, but I know I will get there. I know I'll get there. I think around like Good Friday and Easter, it was a really hard time for me, and just with my wounds. And one of the prayers I was saying to the Lord is, on Good Friday, it's like my wounds can't compare to the wounds that he suffered on the cross. And so I said, thank you that you have none suffering for me on my behalf. And so, but scripture tells us by his wounds we are saved. And that was my comfort that day. By his wounds, by the wounds of Jesus on the cross, I am saved. So not just this life, but the life to come. So I gave praise to the Lord, but it was just so sad that I couldn't be part of Easter Sunday at church. I was hoping I could get there, but the thought of sitting for 2 hours just was not a good idea. So I worshiped at home. So hopefully next year I'll be in church. I'm hoping that, soon I could be back in church worshiping as well. And I'm grateful for online service, but there's something about being in God's house and with other believers and praising and listening to his word. So I'm hoping for that. So that's what happened with my wound. I'm just trusting the dress, changing the dressing every day. And it seems like it is, there's less drainage, but there's still drainage. It's because my skin is so sensitive. It was like tearing my skin too. So putting lots of lotion and things like that. And so I'm hoping, and I'm airing it out every day. So hopefully it will heal, but I know it's going to take some time. But the pain has been much better. So that's kind of been what's going on with my wound and my recovery. I've been eating well, and I don't know, it's because I've been off of chemo so long. I've been actually wanting Korean food. So I've had some Korean food over the weekend and even today. So I don't know how my taste bud's going to change after chemo, but I've been eating way too well that I've gained weight. Look how round I am. And also to, just eating so much more and having cravings. So it's been good, but it hasn't been good either. So I'm going to start to watch what I eat as well and try to eat eat less. Eat less. So, everyone was always worried about if I'm not eating, but I've been having a good appetite. So it's been good. So, I'm excited to start chemo again tomorrow, I think. I'm kind of wonder how the side effects will be this time. I'm hoping that it won't be so bad. I'm still not in my bedroom because I still can't get in my bed. So I'm in my the guest room and hanging out here. So my hope is too I could get back into my bedroom soon. And so that's how I'm doing, and continue to pray for me that I will be in good spirits. My body will be okay. My biggest fear was with the wounds that I would get an infection. So I keep saying, oh, do I have a temperature? Do I have a temperature? But so far it's been really good, and he did assure me that I won't. So I will continue to pray that I don't, and even in this journey, that I would give praise to the Lord. And again, my family's been great. My siblings have been so helpful in helping me with everything. And a day is coming that will celebrate baby Obi's delivery. I hope to do that soon with all of you. So I hope all of you guys are well and take care. Until next time. Bye.